Welcome to another episode of Husbands Watching Housewives. I'm Scott.
I'm Jeff.
And we just watched an episode of The Real Housewives of New York City. I guess just New York. You don't call it New York City.
Yeah, I just say New York.
Yeah.
NYC. It's RHONY, not RHONY C.
What if it was like, we just watched The Real Housewives of Poughkeepsie? Like a Long Island Housewives. That'd be pretty...
Or Staten Island, or... She could, like, throw out islands, like...
Yeah, don't get me going on Brynn yet.
Danielle Cabral's from Staten Island, where she was like...
Yeah.
Well...
I've never been to Staten Island. I've taken the Staten Island ferry, because one, it's free, and then two, it's a good way to see the Statue of Liberty.
Yes, I did that with my friend, with Megan.
Oh, yeah. Oh, very nice. Mm-hmm. I did that on one of my first trips to New York when I was single. Mm. It was the same trip that the McGriddle came out, because my friends...
came out for the first time ever?
Yeah, when they introduced the McGriddle, because I remember I wanted to go get some breakfast. And my friends were like, oh, no, we got to get the McGriddle. And I was just like, seriously? Like, we're in New York City. We could eat anything, literally the best restaurants at our disposal, and you want to go to an MFing McDonald's.
I feel like when we went to New York this last time, when we returned the rental car, didn't we also stop at McDonald's? Because
they had the bagel breakfast sandwich, which they now have out here in California. See, we had it here, they got rid of it.
Yeah.
And then they have it back. And I learned that is one of my hangover foods. So not that I would need it that day when we were driving, but no, we were returning we're returning the car. And I think we went, I can't remember. Yeah. It all blends together. Yeah, come right at me with your McDonald's before you try to come for me. No, I'm kidding.
Mickey D's.
Yes.
Doesn't say Mickey D's anymore.
I think there's a 90s thing. In fact, the McDonald's that's here in town had neon in the little corner room, and it said Mickey D's over the door. And so we started calling it Mickey D's, out of just spite and irony, and oh, want to go to Mickey D's? But it worked out.
I was going to say, sorry.
Well, then they remodeled it. Now it looks like a weird, motel or hotel. It's all adult. McDonald's needs to go back to fun and flashy. All restaurants, movie theaters too, fun and flashy.
Do they even have a playground at McDonald's anymore?
I don't.
They certainly don't.
No, they must have the bounce house sort of style, like Chick-fil-A had.
But they don't have post-COVID, they probably don't have the balls, the ballroom.
I think they do have the ball
pit.
No, they do. I think they definitely have the Discovery Fun Zone sort of ball pit gymnasium thing.
Germ factory, I tell you what.
I mean, that's called children.
Yeah.
Children are germ factories.
They are, but you put them in places like that, it's going to amplify it. But continue.
Anyway, this is our 80th episode, actually. That's that's where I was getting with this. I can't believe we've done 80 episodes.
I know.
And more or less, we've been very lucky so far with technology and just the whole 9 yards with it. So 80 episodes since January, we're doing pretty good.
Keep plugging along, and
I was looking into some of our analytics, because all of us with social media and anything that will track how popular or how many likes we get, I would be like, wow, okay, we're getting some viewers up there. I appreciate it. It says we have some viewers in the UK now. So, yeah, I mean, I'm not going to pull a Shannon Bedore, and we're not going to do Orange County using accent. Although, what if that's what got us our UK listeners, is that they listened to that episode where we were saying we'd never do that, and then we did some cheesy British accents.
We didn't do any, did we?
We did a little bit. But
I did, because I was we're making fun of it, because it's everyone always goes for the Cockney. Yes, competition now. Yeah. Anyways, no one could be as bad as Shannon Bedore.
No, cannot be. But either way,
we're in RHONY.
Yes. Thanks for joining us, everyone. We appreciate it. Keep listening. Tell your friends. Tell your enemies. Tell anyone who will listen. We appreciate it. Find us on the social media, Husbands Watching Housewives or Husbands Watching, or at all over the place. So anywhere you think there's social media, just look us up. We might be there. We're not on Truth Social, though. We wouldn't be there.
We're not really, I mean, we're on Twitter, but we're not we haven't ever tweeted anything. It's only been Instagram and now Facebook and our TikTok.
Yeah.
So,
and the tic-tac-toe, the ticky-tack. Yeah, you're liking that. I can tell you when I say stupid things about social media. No, that was what Nancy Pelosi did. And remember, she's like, doing a whole thing, and that connects the dots. That's tic-tac-toe.
Oh,
It was really cringy and awful, not good at all.
Yeah.
But things that were cringy and awful in this episode of The Real Housewives of New York, you want to talk about it, or do you want to talk about the good stuff?
Whatever you want to start with. Well, we should start with like because it began with Erin and Brynn and their sit down.
Well, didn't it actually begin a little bit before that with Erin and her mother?
Oh, right. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
And Erin getting a haircut and Ubah and all that. Yeah. I mean,
I didn't even notice it because I think I've also like seen so many photos, and like I think her hair is short in the picture that we have up there. So I was like, "Oh, you cut your hair?"
And then for her to do the whole thing to Ubah, like, didn't you notice anything? And it's
I
like,
cut my hair.
yeah, it's like, girl.
And it was like, you look beautiful.
Yeah.
No matter what they say. Yeah, no, it's really yes. And also too, she Erin lost her father, unfortunately.
Oh, well, before
no, just recently in real time.
Okay.
I know it's so weird. It's like, yeah. But yeah. So recently she lost her father. I hope her mom is doing better in her with the cancer
and everything.
But yeah, it was really, touching that she is so close to her mom. And I didn't know that her siblings were from her dad's second marriage, and that she's her only child of her mother.
Yeah, I did. We're learning, season 2, and we're learning stuff. So
she really cared a lot about her family. Like it's very nice. Yeah.
Yeah. This is a very Erin heavy episode.
It was.
Which is difficult because like a lot of people don't want to kind of acknowledge that Erin is a strong part of the show. The same way kind of Lions is kind of a focus, Erin is the opposite side of that focus. And then I'm imagining eventually Jessel will be the next part of that.
It's so funny. I feel like, not skip around, but like, I know we're only in episode 2, but I feel like we've gotten very little Jessel. I don't mind it because I like her. We're in a good place.
Right.
And I feel
you don't want that ruined.
Yeah. But it's like last season was so Jessel heavy, and she was like in front of the couch, and now I feel like, where is she? She just like pops up, and I gotta tell you, like her confessionals are still very cringy and still.
Well, they're very rehearsed. Yeah.
They're pretty people in Scientology. Like I was like, what are you doing?
It's as though she's just saying whatever cliche line will, get her a soundbite or something. Yeah, and I guess it's working.
My theory that she's very much in her head. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. But no, the whole thing with Erin and the wigs, I do believe, and I'm curious, I'd like other people to tell me, is that just a white woman wig shop in New York? Is that where like rich white women go for wigs?
I feel like
they
get it from the Racquel Welch collection.
Well, I really wanted Ubah to be like kind of roll her eyes and be like, oh, really? This is where you go? What? Huh? No, you're going the wrong place for wigs.
There's a lot of wig places in New York. I don't know why this one agreed to film, I guess.
Yeah, this also seemed to me like the Project Runway of wigs. Was this like very much the Parsons the School of Wig Design? Or
it was like, no,
the mood?
Pink wigs.
Yeah.
Like, it was just,
Yeah, it was interesting. I mean, I shouldn't be knocking wigs. I don't need to wear a wig. Well, maybe I do need to wear.
I didn't know. I thought that was like clip-ins that Erin had in her confessional, but she was like, wig. And I was like, oh
yeah.
Me.
Yeah, fooled me as well.
I mean, I knew it was not her real hair, but
I still can't tell. I still cannot.
I just obsess about people's hair.
I just assume, when someone shows you their hair, assume it's theirs.
No, that's when someone shows you who they really are. Believe the first time.
I can mutate that.
Co-op my Aunt Angelou.
I can turn that into whatever I want it to be. No. Okay. No. So, Ubah is beautiful. Downright, they're all beautiful, but Ubah just is effortlessly glamorous. And like when she's not trying to be, like I can totally understand why she's a model, and I don't know, she's wearing that like pretty, I'd say plain sweater set.
It was very Ralph Lauren. I don't think it was.
Yeah,
it's like like a sweater and a matching skirt situation.
Yeah, like a sweater skirt of sort. Yeah, it didn't seem like all that glamorous, but you're still like, wow, what a just like, I hate to say it, but like, just a pretty girl. Like I hear my mom coming out, I'm like, what a pretty girl.
Did you get that feeling when we met her? Because that feels like such a blur.
It was was a blur because you're in there that line, and then you're finally happy, and you're up there, and then
it happened so fast.
And then Ayan was taught to talk. They're both.
It was like I think like I remember Ayan because Ayan was just so like Ayan.
But yeah, I mean, I think looking at her in person, she's just absolutely beautiful. And Everything, like even when you like, I think that's what it is about this particular episode or that particular scene, is that you look at her and you go, none of this should work, and then you're like, oh wow, it just works so tremendously well.
Yeah.
Like this plain sweater, like, but she just rocks it. It was really, really nice.
Her confessionals, though,
Yeah,
her choices
are made for sure in these confessionals.
Like the short blonde wig is just so like,
yeah,
you know.
So Diane Carroll.
It's very Diane Carroll.
Some Dynasty.
It's more like, I don't know, when she was maybe on a different world. I don't know, but it's like,
yeah, it was.
It's a choice with the bangs, and like it just feels like, you know, I don't know what's gonna happen. It's very like,
yeah, it was definitely.
I don't know what that means, but I just.
Are you trying to do revenge nails from show?
No, it's more like Tootsie.
I've never seen Tootsie the whole way through.
Oh, okay, all the way through. But you've seen like bits and pieces.
I mean, I know what Tootsie's about.
I feel like we watched.
Don't jiggle those cords, or a mic
right.
just here. Get your foot away from there.
Okay. Oh gosh, I'm caught up. I feel like we watched Tootsie together, didn't we not?
Did I fall asleep? It's never been Tootsie as a movie has never really appealed to me. Like I get it. I know it's a classic of American comedy, and you know, but yeah, it's never really. We had to have watched it because it's soap opera.
We watched it during, I feel like, COVID.
Well, we watched a lot during COVID. I feel like if we did watch it, then it met every expectation I had, and I just feel like I'd already seen it, which I guess it's true. I already had.
It's kind of like what I saw when we watched Top Gun during COVID.
Right. Yeah. You're like, there's nothing surprising about this. This is everything that was promised it would be. And, and yeah, I can see why people like it. I can see why it gets the reputation it gets, but nothing amazing. Moving on.
So Brynn and Erin.
And by the way, I'm this name of this episode that everyone just clicked on is going to be Stillwater Runs Deep.
Yeah.
Just because, perfectly cliche, but I did not laugh harder than when she's like, bitch gets Stillwater. Tap, yeah.
It was this bitch's tap.
Yeah. Maybe just tap water runs deep. Maybe that's what we'll do.
Oh, there you go.
That's good. Hey. Just because I was just like, yes, that is some bitterness. That is some petty.
It's so petty.
That is some pettiness that I love.
She completely Evian.
Cracked the seal on the Evian and was like, oh, no.
No, this bitch gets tapped.
And it took me a little while to be like, oh, because in New York, it's, the water's bad.
Is it?
I don't know if it still is, but it has a reputation of being bad. That's why bottled water, and I guess LA, bottled water exists for those two
for sure
places.
Yeah.
But Brynn did not accept any responsibility for any role she played in any of that drama, period, whatsoever.
She did say, I'm sorry, briefly, but she was more so like badgering Erin,
yeah.
I'm still to this day embarrassed about people thinking I'm an escort.
And even before that, the fact that she came in and was being all like on her phone and being all like,
what's that?
And doing this whole like, I invited you over or you asked to come over and like, I'm not even going to pay attention to you. I'm going to pretend, it's like, girl, no. I'm like, I guess like Ubah, I feel like I just took 5 steps back from Brynn, from her behavior in this episode, because this whole aloof, like, as though she didn't do a single damn thing wrong. Like, no. Like Erin went.
All she does is giggle and laugh all day. Why are people being mean to her?
Right. But it's like Erin went there ready to accept and ready to, take ownership of whatever role she played. Even to the point, and I think this is my problem with too, Erin didn't say a goddamn thing wrong on that show.
Again,
Jeff Lewis said it all. And Erin was willing to eat crap over it just to make things nice with Brynn.
Because she felt so bad that Brynn felt bad.
Right. And Brynn did not do the same in return. And that bothers me.
Yeah.
Like, if you're going to play this game, or not this game, but if you're going to do the housewife thing where it's like, we're so quick to forgive each other and like, let's move on because, it isn't worth it. It's like, you got to at least own up to some of it.
It was a lot of Erin eating ish.
Yeah. And I just, it rubbed me really, really the wrong way. Do I still love Brynn? Yes, I still love Brynn. But
I don't like her as much as I did last season.
Yeah.
Well, it's early in the season, but I am siding with others over Brynn because you don't just laugh and giggle all day. You stir the pot. Like you're she's not full villain, but she's just there's something. She's suspect.
She wouldn't be mad with the villain edit.
No,
She would lean into it and
I'm mother.
yeah. But that's the thing too, is that like I get that she's upset or that, she has this reputation or it's followed her around that she's, been an escort or whatever the situation is. And I get that. I wouldn't want to be called that either.
Mm-hmm.
But she didn't even acknowledge and didn't even say like, I get that. And if she did, they didn't show it. She didn't say like, I know you didn't say anything. I know that Jeff Lewis did. And they kind of get into it where she says, I wish you had defended me better and like adamantly said that that's not the case.
Right.
I mean, it was funny to watch it again today. I don't know if they showed everything they showed last episode on this episode, but like Erin did seem to be smiling a little bit more.
It's more because, she's didn't mean to make it seem that she agreed with him. She was just like, well,
Right.
I think it was like maybe laughing at the situation or like the rumor itself.
Right. But at the same time, like Brynn did not acknowledge, and that just bugs me because I think when I get kind of heated like this, and we'll talk about Abe in a minute and Erin, I think it's because I've had friends in my past that have been similar and or don't have a what's a balanced way of, I don't want to say arguing, but, sorting things out. It's like, it's always your fault. And it's like, look, there's two of us here. Like, it takes two to tango, and it takes two to have a conversation. So it's not like, I'm the only one at fault. So just watching someone just be all like, and then playing this stupid, like, tactic of aloofness, wasn't her best moment.
No.
Didn't look great.
No, she looked, from the second that she was like on her phone and not really like wanting to like have the conversation, it just seemed like,
right.
Why are you inviting this chick to your house then?
Right. Yeah. Especially because you're a grown woman on a show and you know that this is what you're there to do. So like if she was doing it to be a little acty, okay, fine, be an actor about it.
Yeah.
But
she and Jessel went to the same acting school.
Oh, I know.
It's bad acting.
Well, I think Brynn went to a little bit better one then.
Yeah. Jessel just seems so...
I didn't mean to freak you out about the cord.
Oh, no.
I mean, now that we have the better cord, we're not going to lose Mike or anything. And
okay.
I just, don't want you to feel trapped.
No.
If I wanted you to feel trapped, I'd tighten that cord.
I am.
No, you're good. Yeah. You just relax.
Just relax.
You're in a podcast.
I've been doing this like 80 times.
I know, right? Anything else happen with Brynn before we move on? Is there anything you'd like to say? I've talked a lot.
No, I'm good. I feel like we should segue, since we're on Erin, to her and Abe.
Yeah.
That really seemed to rub you the wrong way.
Well, it didn't rub me the wrong way. I mean, and we talked about this while we were watching, I'm glad that they didn't drag this out and like have us wondering and have, the Meredith Marks school of, well, I could say what's going on, but I'm not going to.
I really thought we wouldn't get the answer. And this is the fact that she was like, he sold the Bitcoin and didn't tell me. I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
And there was some debt. He didn't tell me. Oh, okay. I get why you're mad.
Oh, and I 100% agree and I understand. But my problem with the whole thing is the delivery, in that clearly they sat down off camera and said,
oh, yes,
we need to talk about this. Let's get ahead of it because, I probably have complained about it to the other women and I don't want them to make it a storyline this season for me.
Right.
So let's get ahead of it. We can soften things up and we can make it, seem like I wasn't as pissed off as I was. But then she does it, and this is where you can totally tell she was actually really, really pissed off in the past, is because she is still, like, holding him on a short leash and making it very clear on national television that, like, I'm mad at you, Buster, and, like, totally chastising him like she's some sort of school teacher.
It was like how you talk to a child, like, let's remind everybody why you were in the wrong.
Right, exactly. And that's my problem with the whole thing, is that if you're going to go ahead and like spin the narrative and do something performative on camera, don't make your husband look like a complete child and asshole at the same time.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, he did some things wrong, and I'm sure the extent and the reasoning behind it is way more complicated than they're even, letting on. Just because his confessional saying, which again, Abe confessional, but
Husband confessionals in general.
Yeah.
This Jersey.
And a solo confessional at that.
Yeah.
Like if he was sitting right next to her, I'd be better. But anyway,
Yeah.
him even saying that, like, I was trying not to, burden her with things. Like that sounds like the start of, yeah, I made some bad business decisions and I just didn't really want her to find out / burden her with it. And so I did a lot of things hoping I could hide it from her and she'd never find out. Like, I think that's the true nature of it. But at the same time, they clearly had to have agreed, let's go ahead and get ahead of this. And she still is there being all like, meh, 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 meh. And I think that's a little unfair to Abe.
Yeah.
Also for Abe.
Just rip. Also, what did they use the money for? Did we get to that?
Well, they made it seem like it was business dealings. They didn't mention what the Bitcoin was, but I'm assuming it was to pay off whatever he was doing. He made it seem like while they were doing business, and maybe he was being metaphoric and I'm just being too literal.
Yeah.
But he made it seem like during some business transactions, there were projects he wanted to do. Like he said, things that we needed to be patched up. So I think like in a construction project, something went wrong. He went ahead and fixed it, even though they never collected the money from a client or whatever. He wanted to do a flip better than they agreed upon. So he used money to do that they didn't necessarily have. And he kept doing it more and more and more. And then he sold the Bitcoin to cover whatever he was doing.
I didn't get all that.
Or just in general, some bad business dealings.
I thought like it was two separate things. Like he sold the Bitcoin, and then also he didn't tell her that they had debt from their past gone wrong business ventures.
Right, and that's why I think it was some sort of real estate flip, like something done wrong.
Like, they had she had a handbag line, and that didn't work, and it kind of went under. She's saying this to Ubah, like, I had a handbag line. We got out of that, and it just, they incurred some debt from that. And it was worse than he wanted her to know. He wanted to protect her. And then she found out. And so it seemed like there was going to be more. Because she was really upset about the betrayal.
Well, and I think it was
just the hiding money stuff.
I think it's the betrayal. Yeah, I mean, I think that's a big deal. But also the betrayal of... That'd be like if I went ahead and sold, we have 2 cars, we call one blue car and one red car. It'd be like if I just sold a red car one day and tell you about, like, you came home and where's red car? I'm like, I sold it.
Or it's a different because you own that.
Before we got married. Yeah. But it's part of our,
Right. But I mean, like, you own that car. I'm not on that.
That's true. If we got divorced today, I would be like completely petty and be like, no, bitch, that's my car.
Well, then I would just take blue car.
No, that is half my car.
You can't have both cars.
Oh, I can. I will. And I'll call every divorce attorney before you do so that they can't represent you. No, we're not getting divorced. Ever, ever, ever. I'm just joking. But no, it would be like if I sold red car and hid it from you for 2 years and was like, oh no, it's over at my brother's house. That's where red car.
And I'm like, okay, we're in a blue car. We're good.
Exactly. Until oil runs out of blue car. Volkswagens. Do any of you own Volkswagens? Because I love them, but I don't trust them.
I don't think it's that. I think it's you can't just malign all the Volkswagens.
They're hard cars to own. This is my 3rd Volkswagen, and I love them, but they're really maintenance heavy cars. Like, you got to take care of them. They're finicky.
Finicky. It's every car, you got to maintain it.
Yeah, but I mean, it's no Bentley. I mean, if you guys get your friends to listen and subscribe, maybe we'll drive a Bentley.
We're not driving a $200,000 car.
No, we can upgrade from the Tiguan to an Atlas.
Atlas is not.
They're too big. They're too big.
No, we don't need all that.
We'll get the Audi version of the car.
Down the road, if we need more car, we already have enough car for our needs.
True. So, we have a 3rd row.
Exactly.
That no one can fit in.
But a small person.
That's true.
That's true.
Very true.
Yeah.
Before we move on to a $200,000 vehicle, right. I ranted a lot so far about Brynn, about Abe, but I feel like
just saying I understand where she was coming from, with feeling, I wouldn't say betrayed, but also be like, I would be really pissed if I was in her shoes and he kept all these things from her. But I don't think it was malicious in intent. So he should have done better. But I'm okay with Abe still. So
justice for Abe / Abe do better.
I don't think he needs any justice. He's a white straight man in New York. He good.
True. All right. They went rock climbing, and she was afraid of
heights. About her son.
Well, Sure. He's a little.
I can't say, but
It's all right. Yeah.
yes, they went rock climbing. It was kind of like whatever. I would do rock climbing in a harness. I wouldn't do it without a harness.
Yeah, and she was wearing a harness.
I've never done it before.
And you're afraid of heights.
Very much so.
You went ziplining on our honeymoon.
Yes.
And that'd be the last and only time you'll ever go ziplining?
Probably so.
Probably so. Okay, so there's some room now. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. But yeah, I love the fake rock wall climbing. I always call it fake rock wall climbing because rock climbing is when you go out and do it in like nature, and I couldn't do that.
Right.
Well, what's interesting is, and it's been a long time since I've been to a rock climbing gym, and maybe technology's changed, but this one, they seem to be hanging from like a bungee that just is strapped to the ceiling at all times.
Right.
Where I've gone, and one of the reasons I didn't continue to go is because you needed to always have a partner, because someone would like hold you on the rope and they would control they would be the difference between life and death.
Mm-hmm.
And if things have gotten away so you can go without a partner and you can be a part of a device that is, holds you up without them, then that's kind of cool. Because you'd have to learn all these knots and things, and the guys would show you at the gym, like, oh, this is how you tie the knot. And you're like, what? I didn't see any of that. And it really made you feel stupid. And then the ones around here would also have one course for beginners, and then the rest of them were like these little tiny rock like grips, and you'd have to like hang on with your fingernails, and I don't have fingernails, and rock wall climbing is a competitive sport. But anyway, I don't believe that Jenna was that freaked out.
I think she seemed it. I think I believed it. She seemed pretty scared.
It seemed like a performative sort of mother, like I'm trying to hang out with my kid and be cool, and do what you like to do, and like, oh, I can't believe I'm doing this.
I think she's naturally kooky.
Okay.
So, but yeah, that was really, aside from that and her scene with Sai and just basically being like, I'm in a car.
I liked her scene with Sai.
Yes.
It got a little weird because it went around, like, I think.
The gist of it is that Sai and Brynn need to sit down and talk, because you can talk to like your girlfriends about the one friend, but until you need to talk to the one friend, it won't be settled. So what are you doing except for like amening each other?
Right.
Or like, offering constructive criticism, which Jenna was doing, and, trying to like get her to see like, you should be more vulnerable with Brynn, But I can also see like why Sai would be like, but I don't trust her because she twists things around, so I cannot be vulnerable, So I think Sai is doing the best she can, but with everybody else. But I can understand that Brynn is a tricky terrain because it's hard to trust her.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. I think that there was probably a lot more in that conversation, and they went in circles about it so much that I think even they were confused. Like,
yes, I was confused at some point.
Because I think they admitted, Sai was doing a lot of admitting, like, yeah, I said that, but like, I didn't say I hated you. And then Jenna was like, yeah, but I heard from other people besides Brynn that you really didn't care for me. So it sounded like they kind of went back and forth with a little bit of like, it's not that big of a deal, but like,
It is.
it is.
Yeah.
But they did that so many times where it's like, wait a minute, did we leave off and it's not a big deal, or it is a big deal? So
Where do we stand on this deal?
and it was just like, just go talk to Brynn.
Yeah.
That's where they landed on that.
Seriously, as she should.
And then Sai ended up getting a perm. Is that what that was?
No, she took her braids out.
Oh, and I guess that would
That's
be
curly hair. Yeah.
yeah, that would be the case.
Yes, and she met with Ubah to talk more about Brynn when she should talk to Brynn, and yeah.
Yeah, I think they also had to do that to get it on camera that they weren't going to fly in the helicopter.
Right, and neither would I.
I would fly in the helicopter. I've always wanted to.
I think it's a little scary.
Especially if I can, have the need to pee and puke at the same time, like Jessel. My numb cooch.
I feel like it was such a really quick, let's go to Scientology switch. And I was like, wait, what?
No.
Like out of nowhere, like of just Brynn being like, I'm going to move this story. So if someone asks us, and then like the fourth wall came down completely, and like when we started filming, I was like, whoa, I don't need that.
Yeah, I understand why, they would bring it up and be like, I thought it was a very good question of Brynn to ask. I do agree with Rebecca that it was not genuine. And again, where I think Brynn drives me nuts is she reminds me of certain friends of mine in that you're being interviewed while you're talking to her. So it's like Rebecca was right. there's a time and place for conversation on a loud ass helicopter where you can barely hear each other. That'd be like going to a loud dance bar and being all like, so tell me about how
your coming out process.
Yeah, exactly. Or anything like, tell me how you felt when your mother got sick, whatever it was. It's like, no, you don't really want to hear the answer.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
she just wants to get it out there that Rebecca's a Scientologist.
Yes.
And I don't know how you feel about that.
But yeah, I think, again, I'll give Brynn the benefit of the doubt. For sure, she wanted it out there and she wanted to get on camera and get the messiness started. But I think the way she brought it up was at least legit. Of like, hey, look, now that people are going to know that you're filming with us, people are going to be asking in the press and everything, like, what do you want us to say? And it could have just gone with like her saying, well, don't say anything, or like be like, whatever, talk to her about it.
Yeah,
like
I would say.
And so it did get a little bit messy with that. How do I feel about it? Well, I mean, at least there's a lot of pretty people in Scientology.
I mean,
religion in general, in calling Scientology a religion, it also bothers me because I think where I do land on it is I think it's just a tax haven for actors and famous people.
I was going to say cult, but
I think that's why it exists, is as the tax haven.
Let me get back on mic, and to keep secrets,
right,
and help each other, in Hollywood. I just, you see too many Lee Remini stories, and you see too many documentaries, and it's like, it doesn't seem like the best religion or the best group of people. And for Jenna to be like, there's always extremes in every religion, but I'm like, Scientology is nothing but extremes.
Well, but I mean, I think I do agree with Jenna in that I'm sure that there are a number of people who participate in Scientology and it does what they need it to do, and they're not getting the benefit that Tom Cruise and all the
there's definitely levels. There's levels. Not everyone can be Tom Cruise,
right? And it's they have too many thetans. I mean, they need to get clear, man.
Audits.
They need to audit and get clear and hold those things.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I mean, I don't want to. I would never condemn. It's the same way that there are fundamentalist Mormons, and they really believe in Mormonism well beyond the way your average Mormon believes in Mormonism. Yeah. So to sit there and condemn an entire religion, but if there is one that's easy to condemn, it's definitely going to be Scientology, because again, it feels like it, to me anyway, it was formed so that rich people could not have to pay taxes. It'd be like if you and I started a Housewives religion and like, it just seems shady to me.
And just, again, because there's so many secrets and so many things you don't know, whereas I feel like Mormons will like cry it from the rooftops about
Joseph Smith. Yeah.
And
Brigham
Young. And like, they just will like tell everybody, whereas Scientologists are like, you got to be in the group for like find out things.
Right. When it gets
there's a lot of speculation, and when
it gets all eyes wide shut and then and don't talk about it like that. Yeah. When I'm like, like when we still don't know where David Miscavige's wife is.
Okay.
Miscavige, isn't it?
It's not Miscavige.
It's like miscarriage, but with a V. Miscavige.
Yeah.
But you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah. We never will know what happened to her.
Yeah.
That's weird.
Or whatever happened to
Baby Jane.
Or Tiger King's husband.
It's Miscavige.
Yeah, thank you. Like miscarriage, but with a V.
Yes.
That's how I remember it. Because
that's a hard way to remember.
We've spent a lot of time on Scientology on this.
That's how it gets you.
It does. Yeah. How do I
Rebecca.
I mean, yeah. I mean, again, I don't want to like condemn her because she's a Scientologist. Like, I want to hear more about her.
I mean, if she starts talking about, how Danny Masterson is innocent, I'd be like, whoa,
yeah,
lady.
That would be when I'm like, okay, I don't know about that.
Yeah.
And then again, like, I don't know what they are and are not allowed to speak of, but, like, I would, again, like, hearing, if she were to be like, yeah, I know that Scientology is not for everyone and there's some, weird things about it, but, it's what works for me. I would respect that.
Yeah.
She's not trying to get me to join, that sort of thing. The same way that I wouldn't be trying to get her to stop being a Scientologist.
Right.
I mean, I guess if I had some friends who were, I truly cared for, I might be like, whoa. But that again ends up being more of a statement about me and my relationship with them of like, wow, I can't believe I'm friends with someone who's that stupid. Oh, I mean, or, whatever. So,
Uh,
but yeah, I mean, I wonder though if that's a reason, other than that, doesn't she get problematic in other ways?
no, I think the only thing we've heard about her is when Sai had that hot mic moment on Jeff Lewis,
Right.
where she said that that she was boring, or like I think she's too maybe buttoned up and too normal in quotes
right
for this group or for reality TV. I think that's what she was saying.
Yeah.
Like, I don't like her, but it's just that you got to get into the drama, and so far she's kind of like like, what did I sign up for? Like, I don't know why she did this show. We'll figure it out. I mean, find out.
Scientology told her to.
Yeah.
I said, hey, girl.
She's trying to recruit Jenna Lyons.
No, she's like, hey, you want your career to go somewhere? Here it is.
But I don't think she...
RHONY.
But Jenna's a lesbian, so they wouldn't want her in Scientology.
Oh, I see. I don't even know anything about that.
They're a little problematic with the gays.
Well, most religions
like
are.
a lot problematic. Yeah.
A lot of religions are.
A lot. Yeah.
Do you know who we've skipped over entirely?
Racquel.
Yeah, we do it every time. We got to stop it.
Well, this is episode 2. We just hear out the lady. All she did was like,
She was in a silo.
Yes.
You're right.
It's the one scene. It was about mainly her dogs and her wife and her kid, or her fiance and her kids, and not much to go with.
Yeah, how her dog gets better treatment than her kids, apparently.
Better food. Like steak.
It did make me want some steak.
Mm-hmm.
Not necessarily that steak in a dog bowl, but
not a dog bowl, no.
Definitely for my birthday, I think we're going to get some steak.
Okay.
A nice, expensive steak.
Mm-hmm.
But not for the sake of being expensive, but one that's just a little bit pricier than you'd go, oh, that's reasonable for a steak. I want that steak.
We'll just go to a normal place.
Nah, I want white linen.
Yeah.
I want white tablecloths. I don't want any.
You're so fancy.
I don't want any onion rings on top of my steak. Okay.
Oh, that's great.
And they are. There's a time and place for that place, but it's not my 47th birthday.
Got it.
So, or to Jillian on her 37th birthday.
Is Claire Danes 47 now? Is she our age?
I don't know.
I think she's...
Why Claire Danes? Because Jillian on her 37th birthday was Michelle Pfeiffer.
But Claire Danes was in the movie.
Was she?
Yes.
Oh.
Michelle Pfeiffer was like the dead mom who they saw in flashbacks, I think.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Yeah.
That was one of the last movies I projected when I worked at my theater.
That was like late 90s, right?
It would have been 99, I think. Maybe 98 or 99.
Because Claire was still like a teenager, so.
Yeah, because I stopped working at that theater in 99. So yeah.
It was like before Brookdown Palace, which I think.
No.
Brookdown Palace was like 2000. I'm
going to have to look that up. I worked in theaters when Brookdown Palace was out.
Well, then I don't.
We'll look into that. We'll look into that. But Racquel, we're not the only ones forgetting Racquel, because even Brynn was like, I forgot about her.
She's driving?
Yeah. But yeah, I think we've talked about everybody. You can see them better than I can.
Yeah. That's everybody.
Okay. So, till next time?
Till next time.
All right.